Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Busy. Here we go. And today's topic on episode 565 is shame. And you're probably like, why is she talking about shame right now? And the reason I'm talking about shame is that every time I have an anniversary, which, I just celebrated 19 years. So I'm on I'm working on my 20th year. There we go. And what I have learned, and when I've learned through these years, is that I reflect every year. I go back and I think about, oh my gosh, what was it like? And I remember the shame I felt. I remember being like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be found out. Everybody's going to know that I'm an alcoholic. But the joke was on me because I think people already knew. I mean, those that didn't drink like I drank, because I definitely I was tending to, or I hung out with people that drank like I did. That's just the reality of it, because I didn't really like to hang out with people who like thought that I was like a mess, right? You don't want to hang out with people that are judging you. So I definitely hung out with people that drank the same exact way as I did. So, but I still had this shame and this scarlet letter on me, like, oh my gosh, I'm an alcoholic. And it's so funny because now here we are today, and that shame obviously has dissipated a lot, because let's just face it, I'm in a different place right now. I've been doing this for 19 years. Time is such a huge gift that we all don't even think about. Time gives us the opportunity to change. It gives us the opportunity to be able to look at something in the past and see, oh my gosh, I put a lot of effort into changing that feeling that I had of shame. I was so shameful that I actually patented sober, not ashamed. That's how much shame I had. I was going to go and say, I don't have any shame. Look at me. I'm sober and I'm not ashamed. Do you see me? My biggest thing is that I wanted people to be able to see who I was, who the real Elizabeth is, and who she was back then. Like, I want to humbly be able to tell you that I had so much shame because of what I had done in my drinking years. It was shameful to me. It was, it's ironic, I think, in so many ways, because being raised Catholic, we're told from when we're very young that we're sinners, right? We're all sinners. Nobody on this planet is going to get through this thing we call life without going through hard times. So to come to terms with the fact that I, for one, am a sinner, and for two, that God forgave me, and that I could look at myself in the mirror and realize my addiction did not define who I am as a human being, right? It's not like my brown eyes define me. It's not like my race defines me. It's not that maybe being a woman probably really does define me of anything, because I have very girly traits. I like to wear dresses. I like to wear makeup. I just love being a woman. I love giving birth to my kids. I love being a mom. I love all that stuff. And that defines me way more than my alcoholism. Like, my alcoholism is just another thing. It's like I also am hypothyroid. So does that define me? I also have psoriatic arthritis. Does that define me? No, none of those things define me. They're just like in all my DNA that you mix together, and becomes a person. But shame, there's a difference between shame and guilt. Guilt is I did something bad, and shame is I am bad. Feel that for a second. Like, are you bad? No. Not many people walking on this planet, I don't think, are bad. I think we have childhoods and we have life experiences that make us have these feelings, which then we react in a way that isn't positive and isn't healthy. I think the difference of feeling guilt if you've done something badly, I get that, but that's fleeting. The shame, it feels like it needs more work to get rid of the shame. It's more, I don't know. For me, it's always been like getting into somebody's face and being like, look, this is who I am. Don't judge me. I don't want you to judge me. That's my biggest thing is like, I don't want anybody to judge me because I was judged my whole entire childhood. And as an adult, I don't want somebody to judge me. And I know you don't want somebody to judge you. It feels awful. How many times have you been out somewhere where somebody looks at you and they literally, you can see them with your eyes going down and looking at your shoes all the way up your legs and then towards your body and then to your face. And they're like totally checking you out. And it feels like so violating in some kind of way. Like this person is really just like trying to get like figure out who you are. Like, who are you? I'm going to judge you and see if I like you or not. Is that what we're supposed to be doing with one another, human beings on this planet? Because I don't think so. By the way, if you're listening to my podcast and you like it right now, please subscribe, share it with your friends. And if you could give me a rating, if you're listening to this on Spotify or if you're listening to it on iTunes, I'd be so grateful. Little side note, please subscribe and please give me a rating because I would love to hear it. But back to what I'm saying, that judgment, that feeling that somebody is sitting there and like just judging you from your outsides. Life has become so exterior, right? In so many ways. It's all about the lips, these lips and the work you can get done. And the reason I'm like sucking my stomach in and doing that, I was in an ice cream store this past weekend and this woman came in and she had a beautiful dress on and her lips were so big. It was like, they were like Pringles. And she then had these breasts that were so large and the cleavage. And then her waist was like, you could literally take your hands and put your hands around her waist and they would touch each other. And then her butt was like, oh my gosh. I was like, wow, wow, wow. She spent a lot on her outside. That is not the way God made that woman's body. It's not. But she was so shameful about the way she looked. Is that what it was? That she had to go and do all this stuff to herself? Like, where does that come from? This shame we feel about what we look like. Like, I have wrinkles. And I will tell you, I am not ashamed. This happened this morning. By the way, I'm recording this on Monday. This morning, I had to go to TJ Maxx. I like to go to TJ Maxx and get my notebooks there. And I'm a big writer, so I'm constantly writing. So I wanted to get some notebooks. I didn't have any. So I went and got the clearance notebooks and I'm checking out. And the young lady behind the counter says to me, um, do you qualify? Do you want the senior citizen discount? I was like, wait a minute. Is she talking to me? She said, do you want the senior citizen discount? And I said, well, what quantifies that? Like, how do you get a senior citizen? Like, I always thought the senior citizen would have to be somebody who was old. Well, guess what, guys? I'm old. I can qualify for a senior citizen discount. I'm going to be 57 in October. So I qualify and I got that discount. Do I have shame? No. I mean, I have wrinkles. I have gray hair that I color with blonde, but I have all this because I have lived a life. Am I ashamed of it? No. Has it been done perfectly? No. Has it been done in a way that is messy and embarrassing and kind of hard and lots of times? I've had fallen so many times. I've made really bad choices so many times. But at the end of the day, is that what is going to define me? No, it is not. I pray what is going to define me is everything coming together and mixing together as for me as a human being. Like the fact that I'm a mom, the fact that I'm a podcast producer, the fact that I write, the fact that I paint, the fact that I have a husband, the fact that I believe and trust in God with all my heart, the fact that I have friends, like all these things are going to be what's going to make me at the end of the day, not just this one glaring thing that's bad about me at one point in my life, one thing that brings me humility. I think if we don't have humility and we don't have shame, we would never get to that place to get on our knees and say, please help me, because the pain that goes on in our heads, in our thoughts, drive us to this place where we just, for me, I wanted to drink them away. I didn't want to have those feelings. And I did shameful, shameful things. It's like, I think what really brought me from the shame to the peace that I'm living today is the fact that I have been able to take a real inventory of who I am. I've sat down with uh, many, like 5 different people, not including priests, and I have given a personal inventory, and I've noted where my weaknesses are, and I've noted where my strengths are. And being able to do that, and being able to take an honest view of who I am without the shame, right? It's so interesting. And this comes back all the time to me. And I don't know why so much recently, but I listened to an amazing podcast yesterday. And if you want to know the name of it, reach out to me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com and I'll tell you the podcast. But it was with Sister Miriam, and they were talking about the garden. It always goes back to the garden to me of Adam and Eve. And I don't know why, but that's where I am in my life and I'm owning it. So I've always thought about, for one, in a marriage, it's like God did not make Eve from Adam's head or his feet. So we were not made as a woman to be like above the man or below the man. We were made from his ribs. So to be the same. Okay. That's one big thing. The other big thing is that when God made Adam and Eve, and they were not dressed, you realize that they were naked, right? They were naked in the garden, and Garden of Eden. And they what happened was, when the snake came, which we know what that symbolizes, and said, you know what, you go eat, who said you can't eat that apple? Go eat that apple. It's fine. Why are you listening to him? God doesn't even know. Why do you trust him? He's not even real. What are you thinking about that? Like, it just casted such doubt on Adam and Eve that they ate the apple, right? And what came directly from that is shame. And what came directly after that was a leaf. They wore olive leaves to cover themselves because they had so much shame. We all wear olive leaves, and we all put on these things, right? If it's the lips, if it's the butt, if it's all of the above, if it's a outfit. For me, it's all about the clothes. I always am about the clothes. It's my thing. But that doesn't mean my insides constantly match my outsides. And it's this old saying that somebody said to me a long time ago. For one, it was that, like, Elizabeth, I want you to get to this place. A woman said to me, Elizabeth, I want you to get to this place where your insides meet your outsides. Wow. Think about that. Your insides to meet your outsides. We focus so much on going to the gym and getting makeup and buying these weighted vests and buying all these things and thinking that that's going to make our insides okay. And the inside is where the hardest work comes from, is the inside. So taking time to work on the insides. And sometimes we have to fake it till we make it. Meaning, all right, I'm going to fake that I feel good on the inside. I'm going to do esteemable acts that make me feel better. I'm not going to do things that perpetuate the shame, right? I'm going to do good things so that I feel better. And when you tip the scales and you're doing more things that are good and not things that are shameful, that you feel less shame. Doesn't that make sense? Right? So if we're at equal, and then sometimes we want the shame to go away, because God loves us 110%. It's finding the love we have for ourselves. That's the hard part, right? It's getting that, that pendulum to be more of like, I don't want any more shame. So I can't do shameful acts. I've got to stop doing that. And um, if I do that and I stop doing shameful things, I won't feel shame as much. And so some tips for you if you're out there and you're like, I have so much shame and I don't know what to do about it and it's overwhelming and I hate it and I hate it and I hate it. Well, identifying it is number one. Number two is reaching for somebody for help. So as you guys know, I'm a coach. If you want to reach out to me, you can email me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com, but you could find somebody. For me, I went to a 12-step meeting. I go to a couple 12-step meetings now, and I reached out for help and I said, can this person help me? And I started to tell my truth to this person. I felt safe enough that I could say, here's all this stuff I'm ashamed of. Now I'm going to give it to you. And they're like, it's okay. You're totally okay. It's kind of like going to confession. You go to confession and God might say, the priest might say, all right, go do 5 Hail Marys and you're done, or whatever it is. And you do it and you feel better, right? So it's kind of the same thing. Just find somebody to listen to you. Number two, the gratitude and journaling. Okay, you guys, I started today, Monday, doing a gratitude where I am doing 3 things I'm grateful for. I'm setting goals for myself. I'm setting affirmations for myself. I'm setting SMART goals, like things that are attainable in the future, and affirmations, why I think I can get to the place I want to go to. If you're interested in this, again, reach out to me because I started doing this and I'll give you the tips on how to do it. I might talk about it on this week's newsletter. So if you want the newsletter, go to elizabethchance.com and it will go right into your inbox. And I will talk about what I'm doing with this gratitude list. And prayer. Prayer is huge, you guys. Some people that have reached out to me are like, I have said to me, a lovely person wrote to me and sent me a happy anniversary email. And I'm so grateful she sent it to me. And she said, I'm at this place and I still think about alcohol. And she hasn't been drinking. And whatever it is you're giving up, if it's smoking cigarettes, if it's stopping vaping, if it's stopping eating sugar, whatever it is that is in your way to finding your peace, ask God to remove it. Okay. And that does not cost any money. It's very humbling. You just get on your knees in the morning and say, God, please help me stay away from whatever it is you want to stay away from. And if you've stayed away from that thing all day, at night, say thank you. That's it. That's all the prayer is. Just getting on your knees, saying, please keep this thing away from me because it's causing me agita and it's causing me pain. And I want to not have this anymore. And then getting on your knees when it wasn't there and saying thank you. But keep asking for it and keep saying thank you, even if even if it's alleviated a little bit, even if you didn't think about it for 5 minutes of the day that you normally thought about it those 5 minutes. And always remember, you guys, this was the biggest thing for me. I always thought I was alone. I always thought I'm doing this life by myself. Nobody else is like me. I'm just special, just like this. And I'm a total train wreck and I'm a loser. And all these other thoughts went in my head. And that is all a lie. You are not alone. I want you to know that. You are not alone. I promise you, you are not alone. If you're carrying shame today, you guys, please know you don't have to carry it alone. You are not by yourself. We all have these feelings of shame. I think everybody that's gone through this life has had shame. Because again, as I said earlier, I think it's our way to get closer to God is by having this thing that brings us to our knees at times and say, oh my gosh, I have so much shame. But you don't have to do it by yourself. You are not alone. You can reach out to me anytime. If my podcast today helped you, share it with somebody else that you know might be dealing with shame. And please subscribe to my podcast. And please know, again, the shame will go away. You won't carry this forever. Number one, identifying it. 2, trying these new tools I just talked about today. And I will again reiterate on Friday in my newsletter. And just know that all we're trying to do is life as best as we can, one day at a time, 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time. Just know you're not alone. And thank you so much for listening. I will be back in your inbox on Thursday because I have a guest on Thursday. So come back and check out who it is. Until next time, everybody, take care, be well, and sending you all big hugs and kisses. And thank you so much for listening. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, press subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.